At any time, people can call 513-732-2231. And of course, we always want people to call 911 for an emergency. Probably our biggest issue today is we're doing damage assessments, so we're going to go back out. We're going to touch base at every single residence and business in the township that was damaged and do an assessment of those structures, determine if they're occupiable, not occupiable, if those people have any needs. That's what all the units that you see behind you that are staging are getting ready to go out to do. We're coordinating that with the county building department and other resources from the county EMA. We also have bottled water at the shelter if anybody needs to pick up some bottled water. We have several churches that are working on setting up food donations, so I encourage people to check Facebook. We are doing updates on our Goshen Township Facebook page periodically with a lot of information and all these phone numbers, and we'll continue to update the media through the day. And at this time, I'll take any questions you might have.
Can you talk about a percentage of structures in town that are damaged at this point, or is it too early to tell?
It's probably too early to tell, probably less than 25%. So the blessing in this was the area that was hit is our more rural part of the township. So Goshen is very much has a suburban component and a rural component, so it definitely hit our more rural area. So the houses are on larger lots, it's more dispersed, so we had less homes hit because of that, but the homes that were hit have significant damage.
Seeing the damage that we did see even around us at this moment, and so far we know of 0 fatalities, what is that like for you personally?
So I'm a resident and I work here. So it's a great community and everybody's coming together. We're lucky, we're very blessed. It could have been a lot worse.
What's the manpower situation right now?
So we're fully staffed. We have our police and fire department handling normal operations, handling our normal day-to-day stuff, and then we're using mutual aid to handle all the storm-related assets. And that's what you see behind you is the police and fire staging area. We actually are getting a little bit inundated with people just showing up that weren't requested. So we encourage people, we know people want to help, but we encourage them, don't just show up and start offering and bringing equipment and stuff like that. Our police department is coordinating police response. Our fire department is coordinating fire and EMS and disaster cleanup, that sort of thing. Our road department is coordinating debris cleanup. That's the other thing they're going to start doing today. Our road department and several other public works departments are going to go out, drive every single street, clear all the debris, clear all the brush, and all that sort of stuff.
What do you need and not need from people?
I think number one we need is prayers, just to be with our community. And we just need time to allow everybody to do their job. We have all the resources we need at this point. We just need neighbors to take care of neighbors. The other item I forgot to mention is we have a lot of power that's out, and it will be days before it's restored. So Duke has estimated over 100 power poles that need to be replaced before they can even start stringing wire and restoring power. So that's going to take days. They have dozens of crews here and hundreds on the way. So we have a tremendous response from Duke here. They've already restored a lot of power. I just got a text message that our second firehouse, which has not had power since yesterday, has power now. So slowly but surely power is coming on, but especially in the downtown Goshen area and moving south, Woodville Pike, Cedarville Road, that area, it may be days before those people have power again.
So, I think the sirens didn't go off last night. Do you know what that was about?
I don't know anything about the sirens in the county. I can tell you that the siren at our fire station didn't go off, but the weather alert is how we get notified to activate the sirens, and the storm hit about 30 seconds after the weather alert, so there probably wasn't even enough time to push the button. And the building the siren's on is the building that was hit and destroyed. So I can't speak to any other sirens.
What does that speak about, first responders helping the community, all of a sudden they're the ones who are damaged, so they need help themselves?
It was a bit of a challenge. So we're working through that, and we have a lot of resources in the region. For example, Hamilton County Fire Chiefs has a command vehicle, which we brought in last night. It's basically an RV with an office inside. So we're using that right now. That's our only phones, internet, stuff like that. We're working right now to set up generators to get our police station and fire station back online so we can move back into those buildings hopefully today with some limited power. But when we get power back, we don't know if our phone system's going to come back on. We don't know if our internet's going to come back on. So we're working through all those issues.
If it's going to be days with 100 power poles down, what advice might you give to people to start planning? Because especially because it's hot outside, it's summer, medications, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the people that do not have power currently need to be making a plan for a couple of days. Maybe they'll get lucky and get power sooner, but I would plan through the weekend to stay with a relative, make other arrangements. You're probably not going to have power, and it's probably safer for you to go somewhere else than stay in your house without power and without all those resources. We do have the emergency shelter, like I said, at the high school that's available, and the hotline number to get other resources.
How does this storm compare to previous ones in Goshen in terms of quantity of damage and response?
Probably one of the most severe, if not the most severe, that we've experienced definitely in the last 10 or 15 years.
So going back to communications, with siren not going off, people might be concerned if we got lucky this time. What about next time? How do we know that?
So the first thing we would tell people is outdoor warning sirens are just that. They're outdoor warning sirens. They were designed as very old technology back in the day when really it was to alert people that were playing outside and people that were working outside. You're not even meant to hear them in your home. It's not a primary source of notification. A lot of people rely on it for that, but that's really not the purpose, and it's very old technology. If you follow any of the social media posts that EMAs, county agencies, police, and fire put out, the most effective thing is putting the app on your phone so you get the weather alert. That's how I got alerted, and literally though, this went off and 30 seconds later the building was hit. So you have to be prepared, and so downloading the app, having a weather alert radio, things like that, you're going to get a much quicker notification than relying on something like a siren system.
So if you said the sirens were relying, if it was like based off of old technology, is that something you guys are going to try to fix in the future?
Probably not. So the infrastructure's not there, and it's just old technology. We maintain the systems we have, but we didn't have cell phones 20 years ago. So we relied on sirens. Now we have cell phones. Cell phone is more efficient, quicker, faster. It's better technology. So we encourage people to have the weather alert app on their phones.
What about the firehouse that was damaged destroyed, 18?
Yep.
Was anyone inside during that time?
So yeah, our crew was on duty inside the firehouse, so they kind of sheltered in place. And then as soon as the storm kind of died down a little bit, they ran over to the police station next door, which is actually the Township tornado shelter. And sheltered there until we were able to get outside and start operations. And then they immediately went to work doing rescue and recovery. About a third of the building is on the ground, meaning collapsed. It sheared the gas meter off the building, so we had a gas leak for about 5 hours last night that Duke was able to handle. But that building is going to need significant renovations, restoration before it's fully operational again.
What would you recommend people, try to take care of themselves and leave for the professionals?
I think people need to worry about just taking care of their family right now and maybe their property. If you have trees to clean up, brush, things like that, you need to do that. If you have damage to your home or a vehicle, you need to call your insurance company and start that process. The quicker you start the process with your insurance company, the quicker you'll get claims processed and stuff like that. The issue we're going to start having today and into the next couple of days is all the companies that replace glass, all the companies that fix, cut up trees, all those people are going to get busy very quickly. So we're going to have to share those resources.
You've shared some video, you've seen the videos of the storm as it came through yesterday, the tornado as it came down. Was there anything that surprised you?
Probably how quick from the weather alert going off to the building being hit. It literally was 30 seconds.
Where were you?
I was in the Township building in my office. We had a meeting actually with some residents and some staff, and we ran to the basement. As we were running to the basement, the windows were blowing out on the building.
You mentioned the door-to-door effort for those impacted.
Yes, sir.
How does that play into the fact that the people that have been born here, grew up here, maybe left here but came back here? How does that play into this tight-knit community?
So Goshen is a very tight-knit community. A lot of people born here, raised here, moved back here, multi-generational. Our fire department, I used the example yesterday, our fire department has several families that are 3 or 4 generations. So what happens in Goshen a lot of times, and we're seeing it already yesterday and today, is we take care of our own. The residents take care of their property, and then they go next door and help the neighbor. When I went home last night, all the trees and everything on my street were already cleaned up. The road department didn't do that, our neighbors did that. So it's that kind of stuff. It's neighbors helping neighbors. The logo on our shirt says, "Love where you live," and we love it here.
What's next?
We're going to do damage assessments, revisit every property damaged, keep the shelters operating, and start cleaning up the roads.
From an expense sort of part of this? I know it's very early, but depending on what the National Weather Service survey team finds, does that change how much you guys might get in compensation in helping to rebuild?
I'm not really, probably, but I'm not really concerned about this. Our insurance company that insures the township was on site within an hour, helping us with damage assessment, and basically just told us, do what you have to do, and we'll worry about reimbursement and who's paying for what later.
Time for the next date.
What's good for everybody. In reality, I may not have a lot, but I know you want to probably go at noon.
I'm out of Dayton. Would we be able to get a press release sent to our...
We don't have printers, faxes. We're still working off of a cell phone,
and
and
might be sending someone else.
yeah,
We'll figure it
not
out.
yet.
This is not it.
We're working on it.
Anything else that's on your mind?
No.
Thank you.
Yep. Do we want to come back at 11:30 or?
Will you have any updates by 11:30? I mean,
wanna say,
like, you know, I was thinking like, it's up to you if you
Two?
think you're gonna have anything else.
Say, like,
Two?
Yeah.
Early
Two?
afternoon, maybe.
2?
Sounds good.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
and if something changes, watch our Facebook, because I'm going to keep doing periodic updates on Facebook. Township Administration page, and our police and fire are sharing it also.
Yes.
Actually, just a quick question on
Yeah.
the side. Appreciate it. Is there a best way to get a hold of you?
513
That's what I was going to ask you.
310 8263. If you call me, I probably won't answer, but if you text me, I will. And just tell me who you are.
Will do. Thank you. I'm Robert Ring with Fox Weather. Yep.